Okay, so now we've installed the TinyMCE, the rich text editor, and in the meantime I've also installed Front Page, which is the front-end editor that helps you edit content without having to access the back-end CMS. Very handy, we will use that in the future, and you can find all kinds of nice packages, and you can basically install them as you see fit. Take note though that the MODX SS or the MODX sample site was installed with several pre-installed features. So they have taken those features and put them in a big package called MODX SS. So some of the add-ons that you will find in the add-on list are already included in MODX SS. Okay, so now that we've installed TinyMCE, let's go back to the home page. Open that in the edit mode. You can also right-click this and say Edit Resource, but default is edit mode. And now you can see that we have a rich text editor right there. This is the TinyMCE add-on that we've just installed. So as you can see, this is a very handy add-on which helps us simply edit the text by visual means. So I can select that and say this is not heading 3 but this is heading 1, and it will change that just like that, which really beats HTML style coding any day. But if you would like to still code HTML, that is still possible by clicking the Edit HTML Source button up here. Click that and you'll get a nice HTML source editor that helps you edit this code. Very handy. You could always use this because sometimes you really need to put in some HTML. For instance, if you have to embed Google Docs, or if you have to embed a YouTube video, you can always do that by pasting in the embed code in the HTML source editor. Really nice. So that's basically editing of content done easily. So now that we are here in this edit screen, let's take a first look at all the options that we can set in a page. Of course, we have the main content window, which is the resource content, and that's basically the content that's going to be on the main content that's going to be on the page. If you go back to a sample site, see the home page, that's basically this whole piece of text. That's the main content. And please remember, this is template specific. So basically, as we shall see in the template lessons, viewing or not viewing this content is dependent on the HTML template. Well, that may not make much sense to you right now, but it will make sense to you in a future lesson. So this is the main content, the resource content, and up here we find all kinds of metadata information. For instance, the ID of this document is 1. So in the database that's behind this whole website, this resource has the ID 1. It also uses a template, and the template that it uses is MODX host, but you can pick your template right here. There are several templates available, but MODX host is a template that we use on the website. So MODX host is the standard template. Later on we will make our own templates, and if you make them, you will find them here as an option to choose from. And then we find, next to the template, we find published, where you can set whether the page is or is not published. When the page is not published, then you will not be able to see the page on the front end. And if you unpublish the page, let's do that. Let's cross out this and say save. It will try to unpublish it, but then you get that this resource is linked to the site start variable, which means that this is the first page. This is the standard welcome page of this website. That's why you get the error. So you can't actually unpublish this page. Now, if you were to unpublish a page, that page will turn gray in the resource box and will turn into italics, so it will be printed askew in italics. Further on we have title, which is the title of the document, which is home. There's a long title, which is welcome to MODX. There's a description, an introduction to MODX, and you can fill in all these metadata. There's a resource alias, which is used in advanced features, where, for instance, you have a search engine friendly link, then you will use that alias. You have link attributes. We will not go into that right now. You can write a summary or intro text for this page, which will be a brief summary of the resource, and that will be handy if you want to be able to find the page fast in search engines. It will put that in the metadata. Then we have the parent resource, which means which resource is the parent of this resource. We don't have a parent because this resource is the resource that's in the root. So it's the main resource, and this resource is parentless, so it's in the root of the website. Then we have, of course, the menu title, which is home. If you have a menu, a dynamic menu in MODX, it will use this name. You can change that name as well, but it will use this name home right now. Then with the menu index, 0 means that it is on top. It's on top of this list. And you can actually say, I don't want it to show up in any menus, and you can just click this and it will stop showing up in dynamic menus. But we do want it to show up, so we do not click that. So basically, this is metadata that is or is not shown in the page. It's all up to you, and you can simply change it at will. We also have a tab called Page Settings, and this is somewhat more advanced. We'll get to that in the advanced course, but one of the things that I do want to look at right now is that you can set a published on date, a published date, and an unpublished date. Of these, the published date and the unpublished date can be very handy. For instance, if you want to automatize the publishing the publishing circle. So for instance, if you have a column that is already written in advance, say 5 columns, and you want a column to appear every day, a new column, a fresh column to appear, and you could say, well, we want this to appear tomorrow, and the other resource to appear the day after that, and the other resource to appear the day after that. So you can set the date by using this handy calendar. A really nice feature. We'll get into that later on in the course, in the advanced course as well. So here we have it. You can edit your pages using this resource list, using the edit feature, and using all these metadata, page settings, etc. Later on we'll also get into template variables, and we'll go into access permissions, but this is in the advanced course.